The first time I ever spent a night completely alone. At home, I thought it would be easy. I was 21, living in a small, two-story house my parents had recently bought, just outside the city. They were out of town for the weekend, and I convinced myself I'd enjoy the peace. No nagging, no noise, just me in the silence, but silence has a way of making you hear things you normally wouldn't. That first evening started harmlessly enough. I cooked dinner, watched some mindless TV, and scrolled on my phone, until I realized how late it was, around midnight. I shut everything off and decided to head upstairs. The house creaked under my footsteps, but I told myself it was just the old wooden floors adjusting. When I reached my room, I locked the door, something I never usually did, and lay down. The house was quiet, but not in a comforting way. It was the kind of silence that pressed against your ears, heavy, suffocating. That's when I heard it. At first, it was just a faint shuffle downstairs, like someone dragging their feet across the living room floor. I froze. My mind immediately jumped to Daisy, our dog, but then I remembered my parents had taken her with them. I was completely alone. I held my breath, straining to listen. The sound stopped. I almost laughed it off, convincing myself it was just the fridge humming or the house settling, but then it came again, this time clearer. Slow, deliberate steps moving across the living room. My phone was in my hand instantly. I debated calling the police, but something in me hesitated. What would I say? I think I hear footsteps. They'd think I was paranoid. Maybe I was. I tiptoed to my bedroom window and looked out. The street was dead quiet. No cars, no people, just the dim yellow glow of a streetlight spilling across the driveway, then a thud, not from outside, from inside. It came from the kitchen this time, like someone had dropped something heavy on the counter. My heart pounded so hard I felt it in my throat. I unlocked my phone, but before I could dial, I noticed something. The hallway light outside my room was on. I hadn't turned it on. I backed away from the door, my hands trembling. Every instinct screamed at me not to open it. I grabbed the baseball bat from under my bed, a precaution my dad always teased me for keeping. Tonight it felt like my only lifeline. Minutes passed, silence, then 3 slow knocks on my bedroom door. I nearly dropped the bat. My breath hitched, my chest tightening like a vice. Whoever it was, they weren't trying to break in. They were waiting, testing me. I didn't answer. I didn't move. The knocks came again, louder this time. "Who's there?" I finally forced out, my voice shaking. No reply. The silence stretched on for what felt like hours. I could hear the blood rushing in my ears. Then, without warning, the doorknob began to rattle slowly, gently, as if someone was trying to open it as quietly as possible. I backed into the farthest corner of the room, gripping the bat so tightly my hands ached. The rattling stopped. The house went quiet again. Then I heard footsteps moving away. This time down the stairs into the kitchen. I thought it might be over. Maybe whoever or whatever it was had given up. But just as I began to relax, my phone buzzed in my hand. A text message from an unknown number. It said, "Why did you lock the door?" I swear my heart nearly stopped. I threw my phone on the bed like it was burning me. My mind raced. How could they know? Had they seen me through the window? Were there cameras in the house I didn't know about? And then I realized something worse. The message had been sent at 12 a.m., the exact moment I had locked my bedroom door. That's when the power went out. The lights, the hum of the appliances, everything died. The house plunged into darkness, except for the weak glow of my phone screen. And just as quickly as it had gone, the power came back on, but the hallway light, the one outside my room, was off again. I didn't sleep that night. I stayed in the corner of my room, bat in hand, eyes locked, at the door until the sun finally rose the next morning. The house looked perfectly normal. No footprints, no broken locks, nothing out of place for a moment. I convinced myself it had all been a nightmare. But then I checked my phone again. The message was still there. "Why did you lock the door?" and worse underneath it, a second one I hadn't noticed before. "Don't worry, I found another way in."